It's not late if it's within the first 5 days of the month. Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. My name is October and this is Nerd Boy Reads. If you're new around here, welcome. If not, welcome back. Today we are going to be talking about my August TBR. We'll be doing my July wrap up later, but right now I want to get my August TBR out of the way, so we're going to do that. It's easier to describe books that I haven't read than it is to try to talk about the books that I have read. Sometimes. Now, like I was hinting at in my July haul or whatever, I have a bunch of series that I need to finish reading. So, this August, I have decided that I am going to clear out some of them. Now, I do have a lot of active series, and some of them are still going to get pushed back until later in the year, potentially in the December era, or whenever I just decide to feel like picking them up, because I am on a ban right now, so I am not going to be buying books. So my main goal right now is to clear out some of the series that I do have, as well as, just generally freeing up space. So, yeah. Now, these first books that I have here are probably the quickest turnaround time that I have between buying books and reading them, or at least currently, because I have done it in the past, but right now I seem to be in a hoarding stage. But these are going to be the two books that I read quickly, and that is The Creeping Shadow and The Empty Grave by Jonathan Stroud. These are the fourth and the fifth book in the Lockwood and Co series, and this will finally finish the Lockwood and Co series that I started about a couple years ago or so, like that. I've already started The Creeping Shadow. It's pretty quick to get through because it is a middle grade book, but the words are surprisingly tiny, like very tiny words. So it's gonna take me maybe like a day or two to get through each of them, depending on how far I get through, because I'm kind of also in the middle of rewatching an anime. So yeah, but Lockwood and Co. is about Lucy Carlisle, who joins Lockwood and Co., the ghost hunting agency, and the fourth book picks up right after the third book, after Lucy decides to leave Lockwood and Co. after being prophesized about causing Lockwood's death. I don't know what the fifth book is about because I haven't finished the fourth book, so once I finish that, I'll probably have better knowledge going into this one, but I am going to finish both of these really soon, so yeah. One thing that I like about reading middle grades is that it does a summary of whatever happened in the previous book to make sure that this is really shiny, to make sure that you are up to date on what is happening in this series, which is good for me because I've kind of forgotten a lot of what happened in this series. So getting a quick little summary of events in the beginning of the book before going on to continuing the series is really helpful for me, and I'm really looking forward to getting back into this world. I am really enjoying it right now. Lucy and gang are some of my favorite middle grade characters. That's why I've kept up with the series so long, and that's why I've been so adamant about actually finding and reading the last books in this series. So I'm going to do them now. I'm going to read them now and then finally get this series off of my TBR, not off of my shelf. I'm going to keep them for at least a little bit because I do enjoy this series, and maybe I'll do a reread in a couple years or a month or two. I don't know. I like rereading series. I reread Johannes Cabal recently, so I'm not above it. Then, keeping in line with finishing Jonathan Stroud series, we have Ptolemy's Gate and The Golem's Eye by Jonathan Stroud. This is the Bartimaeus trilogy, book 2 and 3, actually. I held them up wrong, so deal with it. But, yeah, this follows, what's his name? Nathaniel. The series follows Nathaniel, who gets picked up by a magician to learn magic in a world where he believes he's better than everyone. That's really the main reason why I stopped reading this series, even though I picked up the first one earlier this year, so there's not a big gap between them like some of these series that I have going on are. I didn't like the main character. Nathaniel is a 13-year-old trademark. He's a certified 13-year-old. He feels like he knows everything. He does things that he's told specifically not to do, and I just hate him. He's such a pain in the ass. But I am going to finish the series because it is 2 more books, and I like Jonathan Stroud's writing. He has another series now, Jonathan Stroud. I saw it when I picked up the last 2 books in Lockwood and Co. So if I like these, I may pick up his other series in paperback. I seem to be collecting all of his series in paperback, and it's not my fault either. My friend got me the paperback versions of both of these Jonathan Stroud series, so blame her, I guess. But Jonathan Stroud is a really good writer and author, and I am going to finish both of his series this month. I'm probably going to put some space between them simply for my own mental health and my own sanity, so I don't have to like go from tolerable children to intolerable brats and, you know, take a break through it. But I am going to finish both of them this month. And now we're getting into the duologies that I'm going to plan on finish. I know I said earlier that when I finish duologies, I'm not going to count them as like finished series, but I'm still going to get rid of them. And the first one that we have here is Paper and Blood by Kevin here, and this is the second one in the Ink and Sigil duology. This picks up directly after the events of the first book in this duology, in which we find out a lot of secrets about McVerris's, you know, curses and whatnot, how he got to be cursed, why it's so hard to lift, and it's just a great series in general. Since the majority of the, you know, mysteries have been solved in the first book, such as, you know, the initial reaction to why everything started, his apprentice, you know, was running an illegal trade on magical creatures. I don't really know where this book is gonna go. I mean, it was set up really well in the first book. I just, you know, hope it doesn't run out of momentum halfway through, because while I do love duologies, like the main length as duologies, I feel like they could be really easily messed up because there's a lot to pack into 2 books. So I hope that doesn't do it with this one, because I really enjoyed reading the first one. So yeah. Speaking of books I'm worried about, we have Muse of Nightmares by Laini Taylor. I am really worried about this series because the last time I tried to pick up her books, I tried reading the Daughter of Smoke and Bone series, and I couldn't finish it because I didn't like how the second one turned from like this epic fantasy adventure to more focused on romance. So hopefully this doesn't happen in this next book, Muse of Nightmares, because I really like Strange the Dreamer. I like the world building, I like the characters, I like Laszlo as a main character, and I like the whole mystery of the land of Weep is the Weep. I know, I can read. So I really hope this doesn't just turn into a dramatic romance book, because I would be really disappointed, because the first book started and ended really strong. So I just hope it keeps up the momentum in this book. But yeah. The Strange the Dreamer duology is about Laszlo Strange. He is obsessed with this fictional land called Weep until he finds out that one day Weep is actually real and it is not a great place like he imagined it to be. So he goes on an adventure to figure out the secrets of Weep, and it's just a really good story. It was really popular back in the day, and I didn't pick it up until I found him on clearance, so I'm gonna read this now, and hopefully I enjoy it. So, because Laini Taylor has disappointed me before. Like I said, the Daughter of Smoke and Bone duology, trilogy, I couldn't finish it because I didn't like the romance-heavy second book. So hopefully it doesn't wreck it with this one. And this next one is totally a series because it's technically a series. So it's totally technically a series. And that is The Buying of Lot 37 and Who's a Good Boy? Screenplay books number 3 and 4 of Welcome to Night Vale. They totally count as a series because it's a podcast series put into script form, so I'm counting it as a series. I've read all of the Welcome to Night Vale novels. I've read It Devours, Welcome to Night Vale, Faceless Old Woman, Alice Isn't Dead, and the first 2 script books of Welcome to Night Vale, so this totally counts as a series. Welcome to Night Vale is a series, and I will not be taking criticism about that. These 2 script books encapsulate season 3 and 4 of Welcome to Night Vale. I really enjoy, rediving into the first few episodes of Welcome to Night Vale, seeing where we started off versus where we are now, and it's just really great. I don't know how to begin to describe Welcome to Night Vale. Don't ask me to do it. It's funny, it's horrifying at some points, especially in Who's a Good Boy. If you know, you know. Who's a Good Boy, I'm actually really scared to read because these episodes were some of the only ones that actually scared me, because Welcome to Night Vale is labeled as a horror series in some places, but it never really scared me until these episodes. So I'm really excited to read them and see if it holds up, or I might just re-listen to them while I'm reading them. And I'm also finding that, especially with they have little bonus live episode scripts in the back, and me and my friend have been listening to the live shows, and they change some of the episodes, some of the words, some of the lines. They add things, they take things away, and I'm really maybe I'm gonna go through and listen to Who's a Good Boy while reading Who's a Good Boy and see if they change anything to like add to or take away the horror. But I'm really looking forward to finishing these. Welcome to Night Vale is one of my favorite podcasts besides the Magnus Archives, and those are really the only two podcasts I listen to. Like, I have a running list of things that I want to listen to, but these two just are mainly the ones that, like, hold me. So I don't need recommendations for podcasts. I know every time I say, like, I only listen to two podcasts, people start recommending me things, and I have a list. Like I say, if you tell me to listen to it, I'm not gonna listen to it. So just let me get through what I need to get through, and I'll read them. I'll listen to them. I'm planning on it. I know. So, yeah, this totally counts as a series, and I can finally finish them until they hopefully maybe add a 5th script book. Guys, if you're listening, probably not, but I would really enjoy another script book. Like, if they just kept scripting Welcome to Night Vale and putting the script books out, I will die a happy person, because Welcome to Night Vale, like, thrives. You can't tell me otherwise. I will not take criticism on that. Welcome to Night Vale is peak media to me. Like, it's so good. It's so good, and no one can convince me otherwise. I'm gonna stop myself here because I will just talk about how much I love Night Vale, and that's not really productive. And then for the sake of finishing other series instead of just focusing on one, I'm only going to read one Witcher book, and I'm going to read The Blood of Elves, which is the official start of the Witcher series. This picks up directly after the final story in Sword of Destiny, in which Geralt, spoilers for Sword of Destiny, well, kind of, whatever, in which Geralt picks up a child who was destined to find him, and he has to train her for something. So I guess that's what the entire series is about, Geralt training this one girl, and I love Geralt as a character. I love the Witcher world. I cannot wait to finally get into the actual story of Witcher instead of, like, don't get me wrong, I love the short stories. The short stories are great, but finally, like, diving into this actual series proper to see what all the hype is about, see why it got the hype it does, to see why the fans are so devoted, both the game fans, the book fans, the TV show fans. I cannot wait. Like, I can pick it up in the short stories, but to just fully immerse myself into this world, I think that's what I'm going to end up doing. I'm going to end up devoting an entire month to just reading Witcher. Not this month, but a month. Be on the lookout. It may happen, it may not. Plus, I like the spines. Like, this, it's weird, but, like, simplicity is dope to me sometimes. Other times I'm a eccentric. But, yeah, Witcher is great. I'm really enjoying it. And I'm not gonna read all of them, because I do have a majority of them. Like I said earlier, I have a majority of the Witcher books. I just haven't found the 5th one, Lady of the Lake. Once I find that, I may just drop everything and read all of The Witcher, but I'm trying to pace myself with them because otherwise I feel like I lose a lot by binging things. So I'm trying to make it, like, more episodic for myself. Don't look at the series that I'm binging to finish right now. Don't do that. And then, since I'm being such a good person in finishing series, I'm also going to read some standalones. There are only 2. They're really short. And the first one that I might actually pick up soon, like this weekend, like immediately after I finish The Creeping Shadow, is What Moves the Dead by T. Kingfisher. This is about a man who helps his sick coworker get back to her homeland, only to find it covered in mushrooms and eye stuff. And like I said while explaining this book when I first picked it up and why I'm so excited about it, I'm listening to the Magnus Archives, not reading it. Although if they were to come out with script books, I'm really into the Magnus Archives right now, so this sounds right up the Magnus Archives alley. Mushrooms and eye stuff? What else? What else is there in Magnus Archives besides mushrooms and eye stuff? Like, it's really great. It's really short, so whenever I do decide to pick it up, it's just gonna be a quick, like, and it's gone. And I'm not ready to finish it. I haven't even started it, but I'm already ready. I already don't want to finish it because I want to just immerse myself into this. I heard a bunch of people talking about T. Kingfisher's other book, Nettle and Bone, and a couple other things, and I did almost pick Nettle and Bone up, but I want to make sure I actually like their writing style and how they talk about horror and how they utilize their horror elements. So if I like that, I will definitely pick up Nettle and Bone, because it was another cool cover, and I'm really excited about this one, and the plot line for Nettle and Bone also sounds really exciting, but I just want to make sure this is an author I can get into, so I'm going to start here. I'm really excited. This last book I'm really excited to talk about. This is like the highlight of the month right here. This is the one that I am super excited to read because it's my first YouTube official buddy read. This is Dark Harvest by Norman Partridge. I acknowledge that I said it wrong in the first time I held up this book last month. It was not Norman Partridge, it's Norman Partridge. I apologize. I didn't apologize in the video because I didn't acknowledge it in the video, but I'm acknowledging it now. I said it wrong, whatever. But me and my friend, I made a booktube friend, guys. I'm excited. CC and Books. I'll link her channel in the description, so check her out. She's really cool. She has really good taste in books. I really like her videos. And we're going to be buddy reading Dark Harvest by Norman Partridge. I almost did it again. This is about a murder mystery and killing the October boy, and just I don't like going into horror knowing a lot, so that's all I really need to know. You need to kill the October boy before he kills you. Doesn't that sound dope? Plus the cover is really cool. It's very shiny, but deal with it. So me and CC and Books are going to be reading this together. I don't know if we're going to talk about it on BookTube. We're going to have to discuss that, but if you would like to hit me up and we'll figure out how it's going to work. But yes, it's gonna be my first buddy read, and I'm super excited. I made a friend, guys. Like, I think the reason why I like this, I'm really excited to read this book is because I did make a friend. But I'm gonna be cool about it. I'm cool. So yeah, the book sounds really cool too. It's really thin. It's really short. It's a standalone. So, and there's a movie coming out in September, like early-ish September, like early mid. Like between the 9th and the 11th, I believe, is when it's going to come out. So that's why we're putting this on our TBRs now, so we can read it and then compare it to the movie because we're snobs. So yeah. Since 2 of those books are pretty short, I may slip in another book if I read all of them, you know, before I'm done. I'm not going to start a new series. That's for next month. But I have I have a couple companion novels in a series that I could read. One of them is Nebula and Gamora, Sisters in Arms by Mackenzie Lee. That is the second book in the, Marvel novels, the Marvel YA novels. The first one was Loki, and I really enjoyed that one, so I'm really looking forward to reading Nebula and Gamora. And then the second one is Sense in Second Degree Murder by... What's her name? Tazara Price. I know it. That is Sense and Sensibility told as a murder mystery, and they're both companion novels in a companion novel series, so they totally count as series, and they'll get off my TBR. So yeah, be on the lookout for potentially one or both of those. I also have to add on Lost Gods by Brahm because I didn't get to read it last month. Spoilers for my wrap-up video, but I'm probably gonna slap that on there too if I can fit it, and even if I can't, like I said, the last 2 books are really short, so I'm gonna get through them really quickly, so I may have time to read something else. Hopefully I'm changing it. You know how I said last month that I was gonna have a game to play TBR and then I didn't do that? I'm changing it. Hopefully by the end of the year or early next year, like January or February, hopefully I will have like a TBR game worked out for y'all, so we can play a game. Well, I can play a game and you can figure out what I read and I can figure out what I read, and I feel like that'd be more randomized, and I like that because while I do like mood reading and setting a loose TBR and then working it out from there, I feel like playing a game would be fun, But I could just keep picking up books randomly because I am a very, very moody reader, and I just kind of pick up books that have the vibe of the month, which makes sense. It makes sense to me. I don't know if it makes sense to you, but every month gives off a different vibe, and if it doesn't fit the vibe of the month, I'm not going to read it. So we'll have to see. Well, that's been my loose TBR. It's kind of a strict TBR because, like I said, I am trying to clear off a bunch of series, and that is a majority of the series that I have going on. I cannot do some of them because I can't find some of them, or I'm not willing to pay the money for them right now, or I just, they haven't been published yet, so we're just gonna have to see as time goes on. There is another book coming out soon. I know I'm on a ban, but it's part of a series so maybe I can squeeze it in. It's the second book in the kind of Cornfield series, and I may pick that up. I may read it this month. Who knows? But yeah, that's it for now. I should be having my wrap-up out shortly, so be on the lookout for that. But until then, this has been October. Well, I have been October. This has been Nerd Boy Reads, and hopefully this all makes sense. Bye!